So, should you buy first or sell first? Well, I'm not here to tell you what option is better, but I am here to suggest some of the benefits and risks that come with both of those options. I will say this much: buying and selling in the real estate market is a little bit more complicated than the first time buy. When you're a first time buyer, all you really have to do is go out and buy a house and then give your landlord notice and then move into the new place. So to start off, let's look what happens or what could happen when you buy first and then sell. This option is appealing to a lot of people because you can really take your time to find that property that you're going to move in next and make sure it's suitable for your next stage of life. If you have enough money to carry 2 mortgages, this is probably your best option. But if you are like most of us, you probably can't carry 2 mortgages at the same time, and you will require a bridge loan. So a bridge loan is essentially just a short-term loan from the bank that will allow you to have 2 mortgages at the same time. So if you buy a property, you will have a mortgage there, but you have not sold your property yet, so you will still have a mortgage on that one. Now, the catch here is that you will need to have your property that you live in sold firm before you close on the new property. So if you buy a property in April that closes on June 15th, you will need to sell your current home firm before you close on June 15th and take possession of that property. The risk: if you don't sell the property that you own on time, then the property you purchase will not be able to close, and the seller of the property you purchase may seek damages. Now, the benefits we've already discussed. You will be able to take your time in finding the right property. The advice: be very familiar with the kind of market you are selling your home. Ideally, it is a seller's market where it is easier to sell, where there are more buyers than sellers. You should also be very aware of the kind of property you own. You want to make sure that the condo or house that you own will sell easily in the market that you have. You are on a certain time frame and you have to sell within a certain amount of days or months. Now, on the buy side of things, when you are buying that property first, you might want to make sure that you have a long closing. The longer your closing is, the more time you have to sell. Now, of course, you can also have the option of having an escape clause if you can't sell your house. I sometimes find that works in the suburbs. I don't find it works in the city very much. A lot of sellers aren't keen on those, but that is an option if you are worried about not selling your house. The third thing I would suggest is to make sure that you have your house fully prepped for sale before you buy. So do all the painting, all the fixing, everything you need to do to get your house ready for sale before you buy. That way, when you actually buy your house, you can get on the market to sell your house right away. Now let's look at what happens when you sell first and then buy a property. The risk: you may end up owning no properties. So if you sell your home first and you are not able to find a new one that is the right one for you, you may close on the home you sold before you're able to move into the next one. Now, the benefit here is that when you sell first, you'll know exactly how much you can afford. Because you know the price of your sold house, you'll know to the dollar how much you qualify for that next one. The advice: well, you should know the market here too when you are selling first and then buying. If you are in a buyer's market, this will be ideal for you in this situation. You will have lots of choice of inventory. You will have some negotiation room with the sellers. It will be a good option for you. You may also want to position it so that you are getting into the buying portion during a busy time so that you have a lot of options to pick from. Something like the beginning of the spring, you'll have a lot of options in terms of what kinds of properties are available to you. The second thing I would suggest here is that you have a backup plan. In other words, if you don't find the property that you love and you need to wait a little longer, you may have to move into somewhere short-term because the property that you sold has closed. So I would have a backup plan, staying in a short-term lease or maybe staying with family for the short term so that you can find just the right place. Now, the third thing I would suggest is to possibly buy and sell pretty close together here. Now, I would only suggest this in a market that is appreciating, where prices are going up, because if you sell and then wait too long, like a year or two, then prices are going to go up a lot, and then you run the risk of potentially losing out on all the equity you built up in the first house, and prices are more expensive. In an ideal world, it would be great if you can time the market to buy your new home and sell your outgoing home to close around the same time. But we don't live in an ideal world. So if you are buying and selling in the same market, it is very likely that you will own 0 homes or 2 homes. So should you buy first or sell first? Well, that really depends on your finances, what kind of real estate market you are buying and selling your home in, and the kind of risks you are willing to take. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And if you have any comments, they are always welcome below.